Hi, my name is Abhinash Tripathi, and this guide is my attempt to help people who are struggling in the stock market to become better traders. A lot of you guys have missed my live sessions, and I have been getting a lot of requests to record those sessions. While I could do that, it is not the optimal solution for either of us. I have to upload a like 2 hours long video, and the guy who watches such video, he has to skip through most of the content to reach to the actual part where I am explaining something or teaching something important. So this should solve the purpose in a better way. Okay, so I'm making some assumptions throughout while explaining this guide. Those are: you are not a complete beginner to stock market. You should have some form of experience or knowledge. You should have some form of knowledge on technical analysis and how to use them, main namely, like pivot points, MACD, indicator, moving average. At least these three are important. If you know more than this, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm assuming people who are watching this video, they have a hard time making profits even if they did read or learn about technical analysis. If you are someone who is professional or someone who is regularly making money in the market, then this guide is not for you. You'll probably waste your time going through the whole video. So thank you for stopping by. And the last assumption which I am making is you are interested in intraday trading. Although my strategy can be used for swing or positional trades, my examples will be based for intraday trades, and I will only answer to queries relating to intraday charts. I will not be interested in listening to questions or anything related to swing or positional trades. First thing I want to touch is the psychological part. Psychology. Psychology is defined as the mental characteristics or attitude of a person or a group. Okay, so why do we need to understand the psychology? Well, our psychology defines how we make the decisions during a live market, right? So one of the important issue people face while trading is it we need confirmation to enter or exit a trade. We are never sure, we are never certain, like this is where I have to enter, this is where I have to exit. Okay, so there is a reason why every one of us feel it is hard to decide when to enter and exit, even if we have some form of strategy of our own. In his in a book called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, he has given a really good example why this issue happens. We, as human beings, as soon as we are born, we have people who tell us what to do, what not to do, and guide us. But when you are in a stock market, when you enter this field, you are free to do whatever you want, and that is scary for most of us, even if we accept it or not. And having that freedom without any proper guidance, that that is why we are not certain enough to enter or exit a trade. Okay, so how do you overcome this issue? One of the ways to overcome this issue is is to have a good discipline. Okay, so you need to have a good plan. You need to understand what strategy you are going to use and stick to it, and slowly over the course of time you will overcome this fear, this hesitant hesitation to enter a trade, or like overstaying your welcome in a trade, and have watching your position go from profit to loss. Okay, so it will come with a proper set of discipline. You need to have a plan, and you need to stick to it. Okay, so now I want to touch this important topic: probability. Probability is the measure of likelihood that an event will occur. Okay, so stock market is a game of probability. Why do I call it a game of probability? Because we don't know what is going to happen in the next minute or next hour or next day, but we can guess it based on the information which we are provided or which we gather from various sources like news or something or anything else. For example, um, let's say a country is going to declare war, right? So people will guess that markets or our market will collapse because of this upcoming event which might happen, right? So that's how probability works in stock market. So what is the probability of you being right or wrong in a stock market? The base probability is 50-50. Okay, let's say you bought X company stock at rupees 100. Okay, you went long, you bought one stock at rupees 100. What is the probability of you being right that it will go up or down without any other thing, without any other information, right? That probability is 50-50. It's like doing a coin toss. Okay, so you are either right, you're wrong. How can we improve this probability? We can improve this probability by applying technical analysis, by gathering information which might affect the movement of the stock, or doing technical analysis covers everything. Like you will check the historical movement, trend, everything comes under this. Fundamental analysis can also help you improving the probability, but for intraday, fundamentals do not have that much of an impact as technicals. Okay, so to improve the probability of you being right and wrong, you are going to need to use technical analysis and enter a trade accordingly. That's how we improve the probability. Okay, the probability is not anymore 50% for right and 50% wrong. If you have done the correct analysis, it turns towards your favor. So there is higher probability of you being right if you follow a certain set of rules or a strategy. Now I'm going to discuss some of the mistakes which we make and we need to avoid, right? Mistakes that small retailers do, small retailers being us. We are impatient. We try to jump into the market really fast. Like market opens, immediately let me find some opportunity, let me enter, let me make some money. Like this, we try to go in and go out, and uh, this emotion is trigger more when somebody posts their profit and loss really soon, as soon as market opens, right? So you are pressured psychologically to like find opportunity. Oh, I want to be like this guy, I want to make profit immediately, but that is wrong. It doesn't work like that. Don't go for them because that is gambling. Okay, don't fall for that without proper analysis, without any plan. If you are entering a trade, that is gambling in my eyes. And we come to the next point, which is lack of a plan. You need to have a plan, right? You need to know what all conditions should meet for you to enter a trade and what all conditions should meet for you to exit a trade. If you have a laid down plan, then you will not jump into a trade immediately as soon as you see small hint of the price going towards what you think or whatever you see on your screen. Like let's say if a stock just as soon as market opens, you see a big red candle or big green candle, you will not jump into the trade with a long or short, because you're going to wait for all the conditions of your plan to meet to enter a trade. Okay, what happens when you are impatient and you don't have a plan, but you're just doing with like just minor knowledge? Like you know how MACD works, you saw crossover and you're like, oh, this is bullish, I need to enter. But what happens is like immediately your stop loss is hit, or you book losses, something like that, right? That's how most of us have learned from the market. So once that happens, what we do, we look for confirmation from others. you know A guy who is successful, he will never look for others, he will never look at others trading style, he will never look for, you know, a new strategy or something like that. You won't be here watching this video if you haven't failed at least once, or you weren't struggling. I'm sorry if it is rude, but that's the truth. Okay, so that is also a mistake. Once you understand this strategy, once you are done with this video, first thing I want you to do is stop asking me or someone else for confirmation. If your analysis say that the stock is going to go up and you are not sure, no need to take the trade. Write it down on a paper and see if you are right. Slowly you are going to build up the confidence that you need to enter the market. Okay, and that is going to help you in the long run. If you just ask me or someone else to confirm that it is going to go up, and if I or that the other guy say yes and it goes up, then you won't build the confidence that you need to trade by yourself, because you are relying on my decision as well as yours to enter the trade, right? You're looking for confirmation from someone else, even if you know how to do technical analysis. So that is one of the biggest mistake we have. We don't trust our own instinct. Okay, if one of the way to build this trust is to do paper trade if you are not sure about trading on the live market. Okay, now there is another big mistake: over trade. Once you have made some money, or once you have made some loss, why don't we stop there? Why don't we do one trade a day and stop? Why do people have to trade like 4 5? Why do people have to take 4 5 trades a single day? Yeah, market has a lot of opportunities, but you don't have to take that trade. It is not required for you to take so many trades. So you need to stop over trading. And this is worst when someone makes a loss and they are like, oh my god, I was wrong, but I can do this, I can fix this, I can at least try to break even my loss, I can pull another trade and I can make up the loss, and I won't at least end the day with a loss. And that is where things start to get messy, because now you are emotionally invested in the market. Before booking that loss, you were not emotionally attached to the market until unless you had an open position, but once you see that loss, you are emotionally attached to the market. So now you are more prone to take higher risks compared to what you were before that loss happened. Okay, so my advice will be, until and unless you become really good, uh, do one trade a day, even if it's a profit or loss. Don't go for more than that. Do this for at least 2 weeks and you will see the difference. Okay, even if you have the perfect opportunity, even if you see, even let's say you booked loss at 10 a.m, right? Even if you see a really great opportunity at 11 a.m, don't take the trade. Do it on paper, let the loss run, and with my strategy your loss will be really low. So don't worry about it, and if possible, follow this rule for at least a week, and or maybe 2 weeks, till you gather some of the confidence, and once you're confident enough, you will know when to trade and when not to trade. Okay, so another mistake what I have done personally, and maybe some of you guys would do this, is we try to minimize loss if even after having a stop loss. Okay, so we are entering a trade, let's say a 100 rupees stock, we go long and we have our stop loss at 98 rupees and our target is, let's say, 104 rupees. So it is 1:2 ratio of risk reward. We are completely fine till now, but as soon as we enter the trade, let's say the stock dropped to like 99. So what happens in the live market is, we don't know what is going to happen, and instantly our instinct, if we have been booking losses recently, instantly our instinct says, no, maybe I am wrong again and I should exit this trade at 99 and minimize my loss by 1 rupee, like save 1 rupee by not waiting for the stop loss to hit. And that is a mistake. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're setting a stop loss, you're already ready to take that much amount of risk before entering a trade. If you mess up that mentality, if you play with that stop loss, it is going to increase your fear rather than helping you build trust on your own analysis. So, once you understand my strategy and the stop loss, stick to the stop loss. Stick to the stop loss. Do not exit the trade unless stop loss is hit or you are satisfied with the profit. Okay, so okay, this might not be true for everyone, but I have seen people trying to win a lottery instead of going for small, consistent profits. Uh, I can say this because they try to trade stocks which are in news, like Yes Bank. Couple of days back, it was in the news, and I saw a lot of guys trading Yes Bank while I was just sitting there and watching what is going on, because I don't like to trade stocks which are in the news. I'll explain why maybe later, but let's go ahead. Don't chase the market or news. It's the same thing almost, I think. Watch TV to find stocks and tips. Okay, so TV guys, they will make you fall in a trap because everything they say is already late. The price action has already happened. If not completely happened, it has the best opportunity to enter such trade is already gone by the time it comes up on TV. So try to avoid that. And if you have an open position, like, it's risky to have TV on, because God forbids, if they mention the same stock and opposite analysis, then you will panic and you will close your position, and maybe they're not right. Okay, so one more thing is, retailers are late to pull the trigger. Okay, so we have seen losses in our trading life, and that is part of the game. Like, loss is normal, but what the loss does is it hampers our confidence, right? Like, if you have been making losses for, let's say, for 2-3 days, you will feel a bit less confident about your strategy. You will start doubting your decisions, and that is natural. Okay, so what it does, it makes you think twice, even if your analysis is done, even if your analysis is completed, and you think the stock is going up or stock is going down, you will hesitate to enter the trade. Why? Because you want more confirmation, like, you want to believe that it is actually going to happen. And sometimes waiting that long to pull the trigger means you're already late to enter the trade and the opportunity is gone. And if you enter late, what happens? The price might, okay, not will, price might reverse and your stop loss will be triggered. Okay, and that leads to, again, building a fear in your mind, and that's why being late to pull the trigger is one of the mistakes which small retailers do. Hopefully I can help you with that as well. Okay, another big mistake is panic at the dance of a candle. What I call dance of a candle is, once you have an open position, you are emotionally attached to that position, right? Even if you agree or not, your brain, your heart is attached to that position. So when you see a candle being formed, let's say you're watching a 5 minutes chart, a candle will be formed after 5 minutes is elapsed, right? The final formation of the candle happens at after the 5 minutes has passed. But during the whole 5 minutes, the candle dances. It will try to go to the high of that 5 minutes, it will try to reach to the low of that 5 minutes, and it dances. So sometimes this dance can lead to a little bigger candle than what you in your brain you are expected to see, and that can lead you to panic and close your position. But in reality, that might be just a tail or a wick, like buyers trying to come in but they didn't have the strength and sellers took on them, or maybe sellers trying to come in but buyers are still strong and they push them back up, they push the stock back up. But if you panic and sell it at a, just by looking at a candle which has not yet formed, then that is a mistake. And that is what I call dance of a candle, because the candle dances in front of you for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes you will get the final picture of what actually happened, right? So don't panic at the dance of the candle, be patient. Okay, always take the decision once the candle is completely formed. Do not panic and take decision while a candle is dancing. And there is another reason why you should not panic, because you have already decided how much you want to lose, right? And you already have a stop loss. So at worst case scenario, your stop loss will get trigger and you will lose. But we already know that before entering the market, so why should you panic?